Hey, what's up? I'm God. This is Seven Mortal Sins. Welcome. Today, I got my Panagia guide for you guys, and starting with this video, I'm going to be adding something new to the mix for my guides. It is going to be a segment on how to counter the character. So I'm going to tell you guys how to build them, what they do, what they can, teams they can work with, characters they can be paired with, and then how to counter them. So let's go ahead and jump into her kit real quick. Alright, so starting with her passive, she's got a bunch of blocks in some letters. Evil Karma Purge. When battle begins, grants the caster CC immunity lasting for 3 turns. Perfection. And then, on top of that, this is at level 5. Before that, it's 2. Inflicts Confuse on 3 random enemies. And Confuse, if you didn't know, the character afflicted by Confuse can attack allies and enemies with anything in their kit. So things like Charm locks the character into normal attacks against their own team. Confuse means that potentially the character that's confused can ult your own team and just like nuke your own team. So like, let's say you have a plus 15 Christmas Satan that gets confused. Well, at plus 15, she has 0 cooldown on her ult, and her ult blows out your move gauge. So she's going to hit your own team, probably kill somebody, and then you lose 75% of your move gauge. You played yourself. So Confuse is a very potent status, not a joke at all. And then she also gets Game Master. So when battle begins, she gets Game Master. Very nice description. Game Master gives character Game Master. Who would have guessed? While taking damage, restores HP of the 2 allies with the lowest HP by 25%, lasting for 3 turns. This makes her a healer as well. So you can already see she's got some annoying CC. She's immune to CC. She can heal her team. You kind of see where this is going. She is going to be a peak support character. Moving on to her special. This is where all of her damage is, because if you look at the other ones, we got 180, we got 140, and then 600. So what this one does is it removes the target's all damage reduction. Love to see it. And then it decreases the enemy's move gauge by 25% and then boosts her own move gauge. So she's gonna get a go again. Thought she was done, but no, she's not. She keeps going. Alright, so it inflicts Black Multiverse, and what that does is when taking damage, grants the caster Fracture, removes all damage reduction, and buffs with a 40% chance, and then with a 45% chance, inflicts Confuse. Yeah, so this is all stuff that applies to whoever has this debuff. So this is a multi-layer debuff. So Panagia hits an enemy with Black Multiverse. That character that has Black Multiverse loses their damage reduction, gets Fracture, removes all their buffs, and gets confused. That's a lot of debuffs in one debuff. And remember, that's applied to the opponent. Alright, so that was her special move. Moving on to her power attack. She hits twice. Before the action, grants the caster injured immunity. So basically that just means that she is going to be able to heal your team more effectively when she takes damage, which is very nice. And it grants all allies piles of file folders. Try saying that 10 times fast. She's gonna be putting your team to work, I guess. Go do this paperwork. After the action, inflicts Neptune Gash on 2 enemies with the highest attack. Alright, so Neptune Gash, when the turn starts, it's a DOT. They take 150% attack as damage, and it can stack... I thought it could stack, and also Lasats. Got a little typo right here, guys. Lasats. It Lasats for 3 turns. Unremovable. Injured immunity. Piles of file folders. Basically reduces damage taken. So all that paperwork that she just gave your teammates to do, they just, put it in front of their face like a shield to block attacks a little bit. Alright, and her basic attack hits twice, inflicts fatigue and time seed, and removes all damage reduction. And, it does not remove all damage reduction. If the target is affected by all damage reduction, it increases allies' move gauge by 15%. Fatigue is speed -6, which is very nice. Time seed is a debuff that goes onto the enemies. So you need to read this as if you were your opponent. So this essentially says, when affected by this status, your opponent has a 80% fixed chance to increase all of your opponent's enemies by 15%. So it basically makes your opponent's team make your move gauge get buffed. Little confusing, but it's good. Trust me. Alright, so that is her kit. She has a lot of stuff in it. Lots of debuffs, lots of supporting potential, healing. She puts your opponent's team to work for you. She's got a lot going on. A bunch of multi-layered stuff. She is basically a premium, top-tier support character. She can do damage. She's got a DOT. She's got a beefy nuke in her ult. But for the most part, she is going to support your team. So what you're going to want to do is make her thick, as the kids say. You can either do that, or you can make her into a pseudo DPS, a sub DPS. She can pretty much work with whatever you want to put on her, and she'll do her job. If you want to go the healer route with her, you want to keep her HP a little bit lower than the rest of your team so that she'll be the target for attacks. And then make her probably a little bit slower so that she can proc that healing effect a little bit more often. Let's go ahead and jump into Star Shards. So personally, I gave her like a hybrid set. I gave her speed and HP with some attack, so she can tank a little bit, do a little bit of damage. But you can also run her on Defender, you can run her on Endearment, like a mix match, you can run her on Chaos. Like pretty much anything you give her is going to be effective in some way, shape, or form. She is literally just that good. Like she's kind of an all-rounder as far as build potential goes. And with that said, she also pairs incredibly well with just about everybody. So if we jump into the formation here, let's go ahead and... Alright, so, like, let's say you got, you're running kind of like a green team. You've got Maman, you've got Jen Sandy, maybe you have, like, Christmas Satan, then boom, Sariel, boom, Panagia. Good team. Like, you can literally just take Panagia, throw darts at a board, and you've got yourself a team. Am I wrong? Probably not, but let me know in the comments down below. if you think I'm wrong about how good she is. Alright, and then as far as attempting to counter her, so like her biggest things to counter, I guess, would be the confusion, as well as this black multiverse. So there's really not a whole lot of confusion immunities off the top of my head. The only one that I know of is Choco Nona, who, where is it? It's in here somewhere. Okay, right here. Focus Love. When the battle starts, the caster gains permanent immunity to Confuse and Charm. But that is for her. Oh, supportive effect. All allies gain immunity to Confuse for 4 turns. This is one of the only blanket Confuse immunities that I know of. I think there's one more down here in the like the 4-star Awakers or something down in here, down in the pits of unplayability. But at that point, it's really not worth it, in my opinion. And then to counter her move shenanigans, if you want to use somebody with Headwind, like Cherry Seer here, she's got the Headwind zone. And then OG Raphael has this 0 acceleration passive right here. Both of them are going to prevent enemies from increasing their move gauge, which is going to block Panagia's big boost off of her ult. Right here. It's in there somewhere. And then if you're worried about her decreasing your move gauge, you can always just run someone with an effect like Choco Asta. Right here. So Steady is the effect that blocks move gauge decrease. It also comes on Summer Luciana. So if that's something you're worried about, but those are basically going to be the 3 main counters. Combination of Confuse immunity, Headwind, and Steady, and you should be good to go. Maybe somebody with block heal, because Panagia is not immune to that. So someone like OG Lucifer would be perfect for that, because I believe she gets block heal at some point in her kit. Oh. That's at plus 21, no. But yeah, block heal, if you can find someone with that, will help diminish Panagia's recovery potential for her team, diminish her healing. Or you could just run Panagia yourself and hope for the best, like I do. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.